Introducing new Moth Be Gone. Welcome back to WETT The Splash, the home of all your naughty little secrets.
We are live from the scene of the accident, and the death toll has climbed to a staggering rate.
Well, I guess we don't have a sponsor this week.
I know.
It's almost like we just got shadow sponsors.
Dude, it feels like we got punched a little bit.
Right in the dick. Right in the dick. At least we didn't get fucking sued.
Yeah.
Hey. Yeah. We were on the path, but they didn't get us.
We don't have any, reason, don't take our money.
Yeah,
I don't have any money to give.
Yeah. Also, fuck that guy.com, dude. What is he going to fucking do?
Yeah.
So I don't know. There's some company called Back Nine something, and that guy's a poo pusher, but it's definitely not Back Nine Problems. They were great. Just Google Back Nine and then leave it there. And then if you find another clothing site or something, just message him, call him he's a fairy or something like that. Or just tell him, just say hateful shit about his merch. Just go on it and just be like, hey, man, your shit kind of sucks.
Yeah, man.
I don't know. Figure it the fuck out.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Yeah, that guy, maybe not, don't defame himself as a person, but maybe, talk shit about his product,
just talk about his product sucking.
Yeah.
I think that hits home better anyway.
Yeah, it's
like, hey, man, how did you even design this shit? Were you fucking blindfolded and retarded? You took a pair of scissors and started cutting things out of a magazine that you couldn't see the pages?
Yep.
Fuck that guy.
Little scratch and stiff.
Oh yeah, but you know what? They will be back. Our golf friends.
Yes.
So
that was a good episode last week.
We had a lot of fun with that.
It was a good one.
There was a really good time. There was shout out to Andrew and Doug and to the third person whose name I'll never remember. What was it? Ryu? Rihu?
No.
I feel like it's gonna be something like Blake, but I can't remember. I felt like it was more exotic than that.
Yes.
But they're coming back. They're coming back strong. They're going to have all sorts of new shit. They're finally leaning into fatties, which is what we've been pledging for. So,
dude,
look forward to that, folks.
They
I'm
listen to their fucking customers, bro.
And
that's service.
And what's interesting is that because they're not going to be Back Nine Problems, and we've got one new piece of merch from them.
Yes.
And it's got a 9 on it.
Yes.
So I don't know what they're going to fucking call it. It sounds like they didn't fix the issue. But whatever they're going to call it, it's going to still have a 9.
They just changed the words on the, the east and west side of the 9, right?
Yeah. Also, I don't know how you can coin or trademark the phrase Back Nine anything. It's such a common...
I don't know.
It's such a common, part of the lexicon,
The copywriting and trademarking is so roundabout because you can trademark and copyright different things.
Doesn't somebody technically own the Happy Birthday song?
I don't know.
I've heard that before.
I wouldn't be surprised, but I don't know.
We're supposed to be paying up.
How do you even monetize that?
How do you catch people?
Do you just show up at somebody's doorstep? Hey, you can't be singing that in there.
When's your birthday?
$5.
Who sang it? He's hanging out at a
$5 each.
He's just hanging out at Chili's. Just fucking handing out citations.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Does that mean he's also getting any kind of royalties that when restaurants do Happy Birthday songs?
Oh, man. Or if it's in a movie. I guess you never see it in a movie.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
nobody sings Happy Birthday in a movie.
True.
You can't afford it.
Well, no, I bet you we can find.
Yeah.
I bet you we can find it.
Yeah, but off the top of my head.
I don't know. I mean, but that's such a specific thing to remember, you know?
Also, I don't know what it is, but lately I've been really into war movies.
Dope.
Just too much. I was never really into them before. I was always more of just a comedy kind of guy, maybe drama.
Sure.
But lately I've just been watching every war movie I could find.
Sick.
There's been some good ones.
There are some really good ones.
I would say Fury with where they're tankers. That was fucking sick.
Yeah.
Guy Ritchie's The Covenant was fucking pretty sick.
I heard that one's good.
Hacksaw Ridge was really good.
Yeah, dude, that one honestly, the way that the barbed wire is all animated and shit and whatnot, is just creepy.
Oh man, I love
really
Andrew
creepy.
Garfield.
Yeah,
I like Andrew Garfield a lot. Honestly, I would say if they ever try to make a Deadpool with Spider-Man, I think it should be Andrew Garfield.
Yeah, something about him is he's a charm on screen.
He's also he was a really good sarcastic Spider-Man.
Yeah.
He was really good as the cocky kind of shithead Spider-Man, and I think if you were to try to pair him up with Deadpool, as much as I love Tom Holland, I think Andrew Garfield would probably be a better.
Tom Holland strikes me as a good drama Spider-Man.
Oh.
The Spider-Man that just goes through all the worst shit.
Oh my God, he's so good at crying.
I don't know what that says about Tom
so
Holland.
good at
I don't think it
crying.
says anything, but yeah, he definitely does. He pulls off the broken Spider-Man kind of vibe.
When what was it, Infinity
Sure.
War at the end where he dies and like he's just like scared and terrified.
I don't feel so good.
I cried for him,
dude. I know.
He's and then
convincing, bro.
I think it's also what was it? I think it's maybe No Way Home or the one before that where he's crying over RDJ.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, dude, this guy's so good.
Yeah,
this guy's so good.
Also, the scenes where at the very end, spoilers, I don't go fuck. I think is it No Way Home or I can't remember what movie it is, but where everyone forgets him.
That's No Way Home.
Right. Yeah. So at the very end, and his Mary Jane, right? Whatever. I think right. I haven't watched Spider-Man in a while. But his Mary Jane and his best friend, whose name escapes me right now. I don't know if you remember his name. Ned. Neither one of them remember him, Yeah. And I do remember the scene.
And Happy doesn't remember him.
Yeah, dude. And I do remember the scenes of all of the really slow, long shots of them slowly pushing in while Peter stands on the opposite side of the store and whatnot and just watches his friends, and it like he chooses to interact with them still, right? Which is like shows that there's still hope in there, but he just pulls off that deep sadness look even when he's not crying.
Yeah, dude.
Like again, I guess not really the best thing to be known for,
the pussy Spider-Man. He's the best at being a little bitch.
But at the same time, it's good. He's really good.
Fucking really good.
Yeah, dude.
I just don't see him with Deadpool. Like I don't.
No.
I don't see him opposite of Ryan Reynolds very well.
It's too kiddish, Like it's too innocent in a way.
Yeah, like the Amazing Spider-Man. He's the one that's like quippy and like talking shit.
Yeah.
And like, that's why I think Andrew Garfield would just be better. Or, if somebody else wants to take on the role as the Amazing. Like it can't be the Tom Holland sad boy Spider-Man.
No. And obviously like Toby is like, Toby's too.
He's too old.
Well, he's also too quintessential. He feels like the, maybe not the very first Spider-Man, but the kind of Spider-Man that's just like, still developing maybe you know like he wasn't really quippy and quick he did have like lines of sarcasm here and there and I didn't see Spider-Man is it 3 that he finds with Venom?
Yeah, that's 3.
I didn't see that one.
You didn't see that one?
I know he becomes bad boy and all that shit.
He's not good at it.
Yeah. I don't know. Just something. I like Toby. I like his Spider-Man, but something about him fitting into the current like MCU, I think is really what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
It just doesn't match, right?
No, he could play. I think he could play the Spider-Man that has like the baby, like in Across the Spider-Verse. Mm-hmm. The older, still kind of dumb.
But has gone through things and is maybe a little bit like more emotionally and mentally wiser.
Yeah, like he's got good morals still.
Yeah,
but he's definitely learned like the hard way a lot. But I don't think. I like Tobey Maguire. I guess he is our Spider-Man, just like Christian Bale's
we
our
grew
Batman.
Up with him. We grew up. Yeah, exactly.
I'd still take Robert Pattinson or Will Arnett as Batman any day.
Yeah, it's hard, man, because there's so many good ones out there now. And they all are good for different reasons.
Yeah, I don't think Ben Affleck was a good
It's going to be
Batman.
semantics at some point. I also agree. I don't think Ben Affleck was a good.
I didn't care for that, and I like Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
I just don't think. I don't think he's a good Batman. I didn't like that Batman either.
I was just gonna say that
heavy,
I
shitty.
The movie choices in that one, I think, weren't great.
Yeah. Like, there's just some people like they're good actors, but just not that role.
Yeah.
Like I hate to say it, and for anybody who watched that new Deadpool movie, I don't care for Channing Tatum as the Gambit.
Yeah,
I just don't.
Yeah,
his French accent was ridiculous. Mm-hmm. Like it was just mush mouth.
It almost feels on purpose. Like I wonder if that was as a creative choice or something.
The Gambit from Wolverine, X-Men Origins Wolverine, that was a good Gambit.
Yeah.
He was kind of like mysterious, and he's supposed to be like 6'4".
Yeah,
he's supposed to be like tall as fuck, like not necessarily yoked, but like. Just big and scary, like kind of mysterious.
He's supposed to be having this looming personality.
Yeah, and Channing Tatum is more of just like a brunty, like, silly, kind of dumb. Like
he felt kind of jockish, but I think it's because Channing Tatum is very jockish.
Yeah,
you
just
know?
in general. Like, yeah, he just doesn't fit. Like,
yeah.
Me and my godbrother were talking about like who would be a better Gambit. You know, and I still think Timothée Chalamet would be a great Gambit.
It'd be interesting
because he's not big whatsoever, but like he's got the face.
Yeah,
you know, he's got the hair. He's got like he's just got that like look about him.
It's true.
Ryan Gosling was another one that we thought would be really good.
Interesting.
Or Robert Pattinson, even though he's Batman, I think he could be a good Batman.
Yeah, could work. I think that would be a decent one, maybe.
But
you'd have to do a lot of probably hair design and like makeup design, because like I feel like
or you just give him the hat.
You can't get
give him his cool purple hat.
That too, of course, right? But I think you can't get. I can't remember. Did Gambit have really strong jaw features and stuff? I really can't remember.
It depends on which one, I guess. I don't know.
I recall Gambit's face being more not necessarily like boyish, but like smooth and uniform, you know, but not necessarily like protruding and like strong. You know? Like,
well, that's another reason I thought
that's not
like,
his power. Also,
that's another reason I thought like Timothée Chalamet. Cause he doesn't look like he'd fight you, but but that Gambit really, in my eyes, doesn't look like he'd fight you.
I could see Timothy possibly doing that. That'd be really interesting. I do think he'd need a height boost though, because I don't think he's very
give him
tall.
an apple box or two.
You know? Exactly. Now you're thinking. Now you're thinking like a producer. Hell
he's definitely he's not
a dog.
He's just like he looks like he's only like 5'8", maybe like he's just an average height.
I mean, he could be taller than we think, you know.
Yeah.
But at least in Dune, he looks so small comparatively to like everybody.
Same thing with Willy Wonka. He can't be that tall.
Yeah,
he can't be that tall, but he's great.
Yeah,
dude. In Willy Wonka, he is so good, and in Dune, he's great, and in fucking Beautiful Boy, he's also really good. Like, he's just. I think I'm hoping that the only thing I don't like is he's gonna play Billy Joel. I think. In that new movie, the new documentary about him or whatever.
I haven't heard about this one.
It looks like shit.
Really?
I mean, I'm not a Billy Joel fan, so I don't know.
Sure.
But like when I saw it, I just immediately was like, "What the fuck is this?
Really?
Like, can we stop making these? Like Elvis was cool, the Freddie Mercury one was cool.
Oh, it's okay. Yeah, it's one of those.
Do we just need to keep making these fucking movies? Like,
no.
And also, why him? You know, like. There's just so many other icons. Like I guess we already have a Johnny Cash.
I agree with that too.
We already have an Elvis. Like,
do we have Prince already?
I don't think we've had not a good one. No. I don't think Prince has had his own like dedicated movie, and he would be somebody I would say before Billy Joel.
Yeah, for
Billy
sure.
Joel is like just mush mouth and fucking
Louis Armstrong.
Oh.
You know, that's another.
Oh, that would be a good
That's
one.
like that man did shit for the fucking music world, bro.
Yeah.
You know, like
dude. Like,
what do you want, man?
Yeah, no, I saw the preview for it. I think I turned it off.
Wild.
I don't even think I survived the trailer.
The Beatles? I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, well, actually, to be fair, there's probly been a lot of Beatles.
There's been a lot of
documentaries,
representations of the Beatles movies too, but
a
straight up like modern aged, good like start to finish Beatles movie would be pretty good.
What's the like publisher? Do you know who's funding that movie?
Oh, I have no idea. Are they making a Green Day movie?
I'm high as fuck. I was thinking about Billy Joe, like the fucking.
Oh,
you mean the fucking athlete or whatever the fuck?
No, I'm talking about the
What's
fucking.
his name?
No, I'm talking about the old singer, Billy Joel.
I actually don't think I know who that is.
Yeah, that's why he doesn't deserve a fucking movie.
I'm gonna look it up right now.
I just think it's fucking silly, man.
Let's see, Billy Joel Armstrong.
No, that's Green Day.
I thought that's what you said.
No, that's not who. No. Just Billy.
Just
Joel.
Billy Joel. Okay,
Yeah.
see, I'm ultra confused. Okay, then my bad. Let's see here. Okay. I've seen this guy before, but yeah, no. There's a lot of other choices.
Not a big
before
enough
him.
name. Yeah, it's kind of silly.
I don't know. I know he did some shit in the fucking like 70s.
Yeah,
but
it's just I don't know. I'm kind of tired of those movies. I thought Elvis was really good, but. I mean, you know, of all the people you were gonna pick, it's like the guy who sang the Toy Story soundtrack. Like,
yeah, like all I know this guy for is like Piano Man.
Yeah,
or like the
that's fucking Elton John, I think.
Is that isn't he part of that fucking? It says right here, yeah, featuring hits like Piano Man and Captain Jack.
Oh, okay.
Let's see.
Oh, Rocket Man is Elton John.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, Street Life Serenade I recognize. I remember that, at least that title. I can't really hear the song right now. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm not as well versed in
well, it's like who's
in
that
old
movie
music, you know.
Who's that movie for? You know, when you think about like
know.
who you're making these movies for, it's like, What demographic is it? Like 60-year-olds? Is that what we're hoping is going to pour into the movie theaters? Just let it go. Don't even send it to theater. Send it straight to fucking streaming services.
Yeah, I do wonder what the market is for what the target audience is.
Movies are getting fucking strange, dude. Like, there's no more comedies. Yeah. It's just documentaries and then CGI roller coasters. And even those are starting to get shitty, bro. You know, they're making a new... here's an argument I wanted to make with you. Okay, Transformers. Mm-hmm. CGI, I would watch. Mm-hmm. Cartoon, not interested. Not interested. And here's the thing is, like, when you make it a cartoon, when you animate something, you have now limitless possibilities because you just draw it. Yeah. You know, you don't have to have some crazy budget with cranes and explosions and all sorts of just nonsense to make Optimus Prime look like a real thing. But that's not, we're watching Transformers for that ride.
Sure.
There's a new Transformers coming out. It's called Transformers 1, and it's Optimus versus Megatron. It's like literally like the title. And I got hyped. I was like, oh shit, like they're not necessarily the best movies, but they're fun to watch. Like I'll watch all of them as they, like why not? Yeah. Like I'm not like clawing at the fucking movie box office to see it, but I will watch it.
Yeah.
And then I saw that it was animated and didn't even finish the trailer. I was like, I don't give a fuck. Yeah. Like that's not why I like Transformers. I barely even like Transformers. So you gotta make it fucking realistic. Except the only movie I think that gets away with it was Across the Spider-Verse. But
yes, right.
They were also taking all sorts of like risks and interesting choices with their animation. It wasn't like one style. Like there was just tons of different types of animation in that and stuff. Style changes mid-scene. There'll be like 5 or 6 different ways in just one monologue.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that was really, really cool. And like that's where it can be acceptable. But like, if you told me the next Iron Man movie was going to be a cartoon, I don't think I'd care.
Yeah.
I wouldn't watch it.
Yeah.
Like even right now, like Amazon just came out with a new Batman. And it's, I don't give a fuck. It's a cartoon.
I wonder why everyone's doing that again. I know because obviously everything started as a cartoon, right?
Yeah,
so, like Transformers was a cartoon, like all that shit, right? Like of course, obviously, right? So it makes you wonder, like, are they doing that to like attract or attempt to attract a new audience, like because it's like it's not nostalgia baiting, but you know what I mean. It's almost like doing callbacks, or like I don't know. I don't know what the goal is beyond just nostalgia baiting, I guess. You know what I mean? Like, what is the point of making it animated or a cartoon or whatever?
I wonder if it's strictly budget.
But I mean, like, it's not. I feel like animation's not cheap, really, like it used, like not necessarily it used to be, but it's not as cheap as people think it is.
Yeah, but I would wonder, like, if you were to make Endgame animated, how much less or more would it cost to be animated versus what it was? Like with all the CGI,
I don't know. Well, it's kind of the same thing, I guess.
They emptied the whole lot on that movie. They had fucking, what was it, Iron Hulk or Hulkbuster suit, and like every character was in it, and like lots of magic and all sorts of everything was in that. So like, I'd imagine it'd be easier to just draw it all,
probably,
than like to have like the scene where you have like fucking 400 people. All are important, so you can't just have like extras. Like, no, that's fucking Black Panther standing next to Iron Man, standing next to Captain America, standing next to Thor. You can't just sub people in and make it blurry. It's like, no, each one of these has their own story. It's like The Simpsons. Every character in The Simpsons, their name. Right. Because throughout the show, they've all been established, right? Like, there's no just like people walking around in The Simpsons.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of the same thing with the Avengers. It's like you couldn't just have stand-ins. Like everybody was so important that you needed them to be there. And then like you're paying all these actors to, a lot of them, some of them are just standing there. They don't even really have lines. Like they're just running. But because of their contracts, like you just paid them millions to just do that running scene. You know what I'm saying? Like Paul Rudd, just have Paul Rudd just show up at the end.
Yeah.
He wasn't even important, but I bet he made a couple $1 million.
Yeah, or at least like a nice fat paycheck or something.
He's fucking Paul Rudd.
So, yeah, I mean, I don't know how long would that count for. Is it based off of like screen time and how long you're on screen, like minutes wise, or is it do you just get a contracted lump sum?
I think it's
no matter what.
I think it's a lump sum for some of them.
Yeah,
for some of them,
I don't know.
I bet it's like we need you in X amount of films, and we'll give you this much.
That makes sense.
Whether or not you're in it for how long.
That makes
you're
sense.
In it. Yeah, and then like the other thing is like when you're animating is like you don't need big name anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's all voiceover, so you can have a whole cast of people nobody fucking knows who they are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it really doesn't matter unless you're trying to stay true to it and you really want to hire all these guys to voice over their characters again.
Right.
So I mean, I don't know. I could see a lot of money saved, just in bullshit contracts, in makeup,
sure,
and set design, and they do a lot with animating now. There is still sets. There's people wearing like that silly suit with all the fucking bubbles on it, and they're
I think the only difference would be, I guess, like important factor would be what kind of cartoon are we talking? Is it like 3D animation, like mocap animation kind of shit, or is it just like literally hand drawn style 2D only? You know what I mean?
I guess it's 3D, the new Transformers, but I wonder about when they have those scenes where there's just fuck tons of explosions, and after being on a site and filming things, how often are they getting that in one take?
Yeah,
maybe you get a lot of the explosions for backgrounds in one take, but like the parts where the characters are in them, or like, do they film those separately and then they green screen in the characters, or how does that all work?
There's a variety of ways.
In the beginning of Tropic Thunder, where Ben Stiller fucks up his scene because he can't cry, and then Danny McBride accidentally blows the whole load, and they're like, that was like fucking $10 million worth of explosives. We can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, right.
Or it's like, I guess with like, that's something I consider when I think versus like an animation where you can't really fuck that up. Did you draw it? Is it there? Like,
yeah. I mean, nowadays I would imagine most people it's in post production. Just because of that exact reason.
Yeah, because you don't want to fuck that up.
Right. Yeah. It's hard to justify one take. Scenarios when you can just kind of adjust it in post and make it look almost as good.
Yeah.
Obviously, practical effects is always going to be better, just because it's real.
Yeah.
Right? But a lot of places can do. There was a movie recently, and I'll have to find it and I'll send it to you some other time. But there was this movie where this independent group took basically a sci-fi cyberpunk style film, idea, and then just took a bunch of series of regular shots of people, and I think they used a combination of AI and just really good visual effects, and then turned everyone into robots and used explosions and like made it like this super crazy sci-fi movie.
Yeah.
But like in reality, everything that they used was just like not practical at all.
Sounds like that Rebel
it was
Moon
all
movie.
Visual effects only.
Yeah.
I'll have to find it, but it was. I'll probably search it while we're chatting, just because it was a pretty crazy thing.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like, I also think some animated movies just did so well that I think maybe it's bringing back a trend. Like, obviously, Across the Spider-Verse, but then there was that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that was animated recently. That was, really, really good. The one that Seth Rogen, I think, wrote and produced. So maybe it did bring on, like, this trend where they think that, like, it's all right, let's bring animation back because the technology in animation now versus 20 years ago is so insane. It's time to start demonstrating what we can do with it again. But to me, it's like, leave that to Disney, and then Disney on the other end is going the opposite way, and they don't want to animate shit anymore. Now they need everything live action Moana, live action Little Mermaid, live action fucking everything.
I'm so over Disney, dude. They really don't need to be fucking like sucking up money like this and like sucking up other companies.
Oh my god, they own it all now, dude.
It's not okay.
Like now, I think you get, if you buy Disney Plus, you get Hulu also, and then something else. Like I think it's like Apple TV or something. Like Disney's getting so fucking big.
Yeah.
That at one
point, it's a problem.
It's got to the point where I almost signed up for Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Because I was like, well, if I do Disney Plus, I
get everything.
You get everything. It's like, well, fucking, why not? And then there's just some movies that fucking pisses me off that it's on there. Like I still want to watch Free Guy. I still haven't seen that. Free Guy was that Ryan Reynolds movie where
that's right. Yes,
he's an NPC that finds out he's an NPC.
I saw it on a flight up to Seattle, I think.
Yeah, and like I guess the whole idea is like, he's an NPC, he finds out he's not, and then like he wants to be like a character like the other main characters.
Yep.
And Channing Tatum's in it, which is I'm assuming how that they met and he pulled him into Wolverine. I'm assuming from that.
Yeah, probably.
And I was looking at it the other day and I was like, I'm gonna watch this, and then Disney Plus. I was like, fuck, man, I don't want Disney Plus.
Yeah,
I'm gonna watch Love and Thunder every now and then. Like, I don't want to fucking get this whole goddamn streaming site.
Yeah, I think it's genuinely a problem that Disney Plus is like buying up all these fucking companies. It's like literally the Paramount case, and it's like 1947, something like that. It was in the 40s, you know.
Well, shit. I mean, we learned in high school like one day there's gonna be just 3 companies, right? It's gonna be fucking Chevron, Disney, and Amazon, right? And that's going to be it.
Something along those lines.
Between the 3 of them, they'll just own everything at one point. Like everything industrial will be owned by Chevron, everything entertainment will be owned by Disney, and everything that's mercantile or textile or whatever is going to be Amazon.
Yeah,
and then that's it. They'll just rule the world.
Yeah, I hope not. I hope Congress steps forward and does their job.
I don't think they will because they're getting paid the fuck out.
Yeah, probably.
They're
probably getting lobbied out really tough. For sure.
And they're all just playing whatever game they're fucking playing over there.
Yeah, because dude, the last time the entertainment the industry did this was Paramount. Like the company Paramount literally built a monopoly exactly how Disney is doing right now. They bought up all. The only difference is instead of buying the studios, they bought all the theaters. I think they also were buying up some studios, but regardless, they were buying up all the theaters, so they owned pretty much all the outlets for movies and shit. And because of this, if you were an independent, like fucking movie maker, anything, entertainment, whatever, right?
Yeah.
You could not get a booking of your movie to show, right, any earlier than like 8 a.m., or at all, right? And then they would save all the best slots for their studios and their movies, and they were basically shoving out everybody outside of the market, right? And Congress had to fucking step in and be like, no, you can't do that, because they had a monopoly, basically.
You'll notice if you get Paramount Plus, everything that was created from like 89 to like 2005 is on Paramount Plus.
Yeah.
Because they just owned all of it. Like everything is all on Paramount Plus. Like they're, and because it's interesting that you say that, because it does stop.
Yeah.
At one point, you're like, it's just like this weird time where everything belonged to them, and then all of a sudden there was like nothing new from Paramount except for like a handful of shit compared to like, wow, fucking you guys own Beavis and Butthead too. Like you fucking just whatever you guys saw was yours, I guess. Like Jesus Christ.
At some point,
South Park
they
was owned by
cross a
Paramount
line of monopoly, and Congress is supposed to step in.
Yeah,
because it's a literal like violation of our like congressional law.
Yeah. That shit always confuses me though. Like who, like where we live, who are you going to go to besides PG&E for your power and gas? Right. So isn't that technically a monopoly?
Yes, it is. Yeah, like damn close.
And I think because one solar company exists, then they get out of it, right? Because now there's an option. Well, who are you going to get your gas from? I don't know. Fucking a gas man. Like, let's just not have gas anymore, I guess.
Yeah. I think there's like not only what's the word, scenarios or prerequisites when it comes like customers and like selling stuff and everything, but I think how it affects other businesses too. Like if Chevron was not only vehicles and stuff, but also like with gas, they were not only a provider of gas but also like a distributor of gas, so like gas stations. You know,
like if they bought BP,
that's when it starts to get a little shaky. Because now you're talking about affecting whole other branches of jobs and like companies, like, because 7-Eleven technically is benefiting. They're that extra layer of buying gas. Yes, you might be buying gas from the same person who sells it to that gas station, right?
Yeah.
But in reality, there's that middleman which kind of creates that dollar, evolution. Right?
Yeah, like I think like Sinclair, the one that's like a dinosaur. I think that's technically Chevron gas,
right?
But it's you're getting it from like a franchise,
right? I think it's when Chevron were to take over all that shit, that's when we're starting to get into like, okay, you can't be doing this,
Yeah.
I think that's the issue, and that's
when they'll get there.
And entertainment, I think, was more easily able to get there because there wasn't a whole lot of in between studio to theater.
Yeah, because when we're talking about oil money when it comes to the Chevron thing, and then that's trillionaires buying and eating other trillionaires. Like,
Well, there's a whole system from top down.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So
I think it'd be a lot harder, but also I could see it happening. You see that Chevron just left California as well.
Yeah, a lot of companies are
they're
actually
going to Texas, bro.
Elon Musk is threatening to leave California too.
He's been fucking threatening to leave California.
Yeah. Oh, really?
I think Elon Musk, because he's been threatening to leave California for like the last 3 or 4 years.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
He started threatening to leave California right around the time that Joe Rogan went to Texas.
Oh,
because they're buddies, you know. And Rogan was like, "Hey, come over
here. Yeah.
You look at all those taxes you're paying. Why don't you just come over here? Be a real American."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think Elon Musk is bluffing. I think out of these other companies that are just leaving, they're just leaving. Like Chevron's gone, dude. There's fuck you, we're going to Texas, where America is. Fuck California.
Yeah.
But I think Elon's more bluffing. I think he's more like, hey, change. I'll leave. Come on, change, please.
Yeah.
You're not changing? All right, well, I'm still here. All right. You're going to change, though.
Yeah, I mean, all this really huge manufacturing shit's here, you know? It's I'm sure that's not cheap to move.
No, but at the same time, he's got the money.
Yeah, but also
he's got the money.
With what he's trying to do, I think he needs that money for other stuff.
Oh yeah.
Because he's trying to do. We talk about Optimus, right?
Oh yeah, there's
the fucking robot shit,
consumer robots, but then there's also SpaceX. There's the tunnels.
So he's probably just funneling that shit
line
back in. Honestly,
there's Neuralink. He's got a lot of.
The man's trying to change the fucking world.
I know, and I'm still afraid he's a villain. I like Elon Musk.
He could be a spawn of robots. He could be getting a Skynet. Who knows?
To me, ever since I first saw him, I was like, there's just a thin line that's gonna change this guy to Dr. Evil.
Yeah, dude.
It's just one.
Dude, he could actually
somebody's
live
gonna
that
throw
out.
a fucking milkshake at him on the street one day, and he's just gonna
lose
straight
his
evil.
mind. He's gonna pull out his remote control for all of our Neuralinks that he's had this entire time.
Oh my god!
Just blow that person's brain up, dude.
Oh my god, dude!
Fuck, bro.
That shit's fucking. I do worry about him, but I do kind of think he's bluffing, though. I do think he wouldn't. I think he's I think he's trying to force change, by doing this. I think he's not necessarily because if he wanted out, he would have just got out.
He is one of the most wealthiest people on the fucking planet.
Yeah, and he could have just done it one at a time, too. He could have just been like, all right, well, first we'll move SpaceX over there. Now we'll move Tesla over there. And just kind of pulled out one company per year until everything was gone. And he would have made enough money to do it just selling Teslas.
Yeah.
Also, Teslas are cheaper than I thought they were.
Yeah.
And people are starting to customize their Cybertrucks. Those are starting to get weird.
Really? I didn't know that. How do you customize that thing?
Mostly through paint.
What the fuck? Oh. Okay.
But
that makes sense.
I was thinking the other day, can you imagine if you had just learned about simulation theory and then you saw a Cybertruck that day for the first time?
That'd be crazy.
Imagine you were just in the dark, right?
Yeah.
You were just a 50-year-old that's not fucking with technology like
Yeah.
that. And then somebody explains to you simulation theory that this is all not real and you're floating around in a satellite somewhere millions of miles away in space, just logged into a fucking holodeck. Your whole consciousness was just put into it and wiped. And now you're living on the internet. And then you see a Cybertruck and then you think to yourself, oh no, I'm malfunctioning. Oh no, my data processing chip is going bad. What is this?
Oh my god, dude, probably horrifying.
Dude, I knew they existed for so long, and still, the first time I saw one on the freeway, it does feel like your brain's just glitching.
Yeah,
it feels like it's just like when a video game would go bad. And all the rendering and shit would go away.
It looks like N64 polygons.
Oh no, what is that? Oh no, am I okay? Am I having a stroke? I don't like this.
It does look kind of bizarre,
dude. Especially in person. The pictures are bizarre, but when you see it in person, it's fucking weird.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's an aerodynamic thing or why that design. I wonder.
I don't know.
Just to stand out, I guess.
Just to be a fucking asshole.
Probably just to stand out.
Yeah. Well, honestly. I mean. Aerodynamics for sure. I mean, it's definitely shaped in a way to where you're basically drafting everywhere you go.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like it, but is it though? Or is it you know what I mean? I
think it is because
it seems like it could be.
We had this when I was in automotive program. We had the simulator, and essentially the simulator was you built a car, and then you raced it for a quarter mile. So you did everything from choosing the internals. V4, V6, V8, all the way up to V12, and choosing the transmission, choosing pretty much all the most important parts to make a car run. And then you also designed what the car looked like. And depending on how you drew it, it would go through an aerodynamics test. So, and if you wanted like a V12, you had to build a car that could support that V12. You couldn't just like put it on a wagon and send it, because the engine needs to be like contained.
Sure.
Right?
Otherwise it would just fall apart. Right?
Yeah. So in that simulator, you'd build your car, and then you would draw it, because it was easier to start by drawing out your car and then starting to build all the internals to try to make it fit, and then maybe modifying little things, maybe extending out the hood a little bit, or extending out the back a little bit, depending on what kind of motor you want to throw in it. Mm-hmm. And then you'd hit test, and it would go for a quarter mile, and then you'd get your quarter mile time. And the idea was that you wanted to get the best quarter mile. And I remember the best quarter miles were the crudely drawn Cybertruck-ish looking vehicles. Because when you did the aerodynamics test, it just fucking
wake off of it.
It was perfect. Yeah,
interesting.
So like I literally probably drew the Cybertruck like 20 times in high school, because I was trying to get like the best quarter mile.
Yeah.
So I can imagine it's probably super fucking aerodynamic.
Yeah, I can't wrap my head around a car's front end that's like a smooth like curve to it, right? Mm-hmm. So like it just rolls off. Versus doesn't the front of the Cybertruck have like weird flat like portions that kind of face forward before it bends back into the hood?
Only a little bit, though.
Or it's like a sharp corner or something. I thought it was, but I could be wrong.
It's only like a little bit in the front, but other than that, the thing is shaped like a knife. It's cutting through air, literally. Like I just remember from the drawings, the sharper the car was, the better it was going to do in the aero test.
Yeah.
But then also, you look at like Lamborghini designers and Bugatti designers, when they do the aerodynamics test, it's crazy to watch where the air goes. Mm-hmm. Because those weird looking, like a McLaren, it's built like that and looks like that because of that test. Because they're watching it like by putting it in like a wind tunnel, to the point where you can actually see the streams of air.
Wow.
It's like white.
That's
it's
wild.
Like white lines almost of air pockets, and then you're watching where the stream goes, and you curve out this and sharpen this and flatten that and move this to the left or right to watch the stream to where it's going, to where it has essentially just the best path, like water flow.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So I think
cool.
I think they've got to be pretty aerodynamic for the most part. But I mean, it's a battery.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know how much that much more matters.
I don't know either.
But I mean, I think that I think they're fucking cool, but they definitely will fuck you up like the first time you see them. Mm-hmm. You're like, what the fuck is
N64
that?
polygons,
Yeah. Oh god, what the fuck?
Yeah, they're getting more and more popular. Well, not popular. I think they're just getting the next couple waves of the people who pre-ordered are getting them now.
Yeah.
But it seems like they were pretty popular when they were first announced, because I'm seeing them more and more often now. I mean, again, I agree with you. I don't really care to get really an electric vehicle for a while, just because I kind of want it to get ironed out for several more years before I even bother looking at it that way.
Yeah, bro, I'm not an egg, I'm not a dove, I'm not trying to be one of those first motherfuckers that died experimenting with this.
I mean, it seems pretty accurate, but I mean, more so than anything for me, it's just I don't really want to have to deal with trying to find a charging station, somewhere. I have to install one in my garage if I wanted to have one.
And that's a whole to do, by the way.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's a whole
thing.
Your panel has to be completely updated, and more than likely, you should probably, if you're going to do that, you need to put in a battery, a whole house battery as well. Yeah, dude. Because the solar power shit just doesn't work the way that we thought it would, and it's kind of silly. I was learning about solar panels the other day. So most energy usage is between 5 and 9 p.m. It's early morning, and then it's the late afternoon into night is when most energy usage is. That's also when the sun's not out. So it's actually what's happening is solar panels create all of this energy when nobody's using it, and then it actually just gets dumped It doesn't go anywhere.
My God.
Unless you have like a whole house battery or a generator that you're charging.
Yeah.
Most of the energy that you build through a solar panel, you'll never use.
Yeah.
Because the grid gets overloaded with it. They end up having to dump all that excess energy, and then everybody comes home and uses the energy on the grid.
Yeah.
So
Makes sense.
Yeah, so it's
Makes
fucking,
sense.
If you're gonna go through the time to go all that, you have to get the battery or some generators or something.
Yeah.
And I mean, they're getting really cool with the generators and the transfer switches. Like, you know, you can have your whole house. You could choose just rooms if you want. You know, like you could say like, all right, well, I don't want to do this whole house, so in case there's like a blackout, I'll have this thing run my kitchen, my master bathroom, my living room.
Yeah.
You know, and like that's good enough for some people. You know, you know, when you go into your bedroom, just go to sleep.
Yeah, that's
You know?
honestly that's what I use my bedroom for is sleeping. I don't watch TV really in there. I don't hang out play games in there.
I don't either. I mean, the only thing I have to power is my CPAP machine that I don't fucking use.
Yeah.
Which I should use.
Yes,
I
you should.
Don't.
Yes, you should.
I don't, dude. I'm dying every day more and more.
No, bro.
Yeah, somebody the other day, or not the other day, it was a couple months ago now, but like it was Father's Day, and they were like, and he walked up. It was this dude I kind of know, and he goes, "Hey man, Happy Father's Day," you know, and gave me a fist bump, and I didn't like at first. I was like, "Why did he even say that?"
Yeah.
And then I was like, "Oh, I'm not a dad." He's like, "You're not a dad, bro? Like, you look like a dad." And I was like, "What makes you say that?" He's like, "Oh, you're just a really friendly guy, and you know, you got those bags under your eyes, like you never sleep. Like, figured you must have some kids running around." I was like, "No, I'm just fat and dying. No, had nothing to do with that. But thanks. Now I don't even know if I could have children. I might just die."
No.
No, if I have kids, I'll put the fucking mask on.
Yeah, please do.
Dude, I can't. You know, I've said it 1,000 times. I've even said it to doctors. I don't have any control over sleeping me.
Right.
Like,
of
no,
course.
I don't have any way to tell myself while I'm sleeping, hey, stop taking this the fuck off.
Right.
Because I almost never wake up with it still on.
Yeah.
And then, you know, it's like it's got an app to tell you how long you were wearing it and all that. That's not the problem. The problem is I'm taking it the fuck off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like I don't have any control over that guy. I think he's trying to kill me.
Yeah.
You know, I think he wants.
Do you recognize any moments, perchance, like where you wake up very quick, briefly, and take it off, and you're out again? You know,
No.
Can you even think about those moments at all?
No, it's
Oh,
literally
damn,
like I
yeah.
wake up and it's just on the ground.
Oh fuck yeah.
Yeah, I wake up from having an apnea fucking episode.
Maybe you need to fucking tape it to your face or something.
I've thought about
you
it.
know,
I've thought
like
about it.
really secure it to your head.
Just no fucking
You
way.
know,
Yeah.
right.
Put a padlock on it. Fucking A, dude. Like, yeah, I
I
don't.
mean, dude, you gotta do what you gotta do, bro.
Yeah, I mean, people say, you know, you get used to it in a couple weeks. I've had it for
No,
years.
yeah. I was gonna say.
I think I don't know. I don't know if it's just that subconsciously I want to die. Like I'm just not afraid of death because I'm not. It's not that I'm suicidal as much as I've dealt with so much death that I think that like it just doesn't bother me like it does some
Sure.
people.
Yeah.
You know, like it's just I've been through so many funerals. I've carried more than one casket by the time I was fucking 18. Like it's been such a regular part of my life where I know people who still haven't dealt with it.
Yeah.
That are our age.
Yeah,
You know, I know
yeah.
people in their 30s, their grandparents are still alive. You know what I'm saying? Like they just never
Yeah,
dealt
they
with
haven't
a
been
death.
hit yet. It'll happen eventually.
Oh yeah, and like especially when one like an important one.
Yeah.
You know, like a grandparents,
Yep.
that's like training wheels for death. Right? Like they were already old. You know what I'm saying? That's supposed to be like one of the first ones to kind of get you through it. That or a dog,
Yeah.
you know, like a pet.
Yeah, mentally training you.
Yeah, you know, it's like a dog's going to be hard, but like not as much as like your mother,
Yes.
you know, like or your
Yes.
best friend. Like
Yes.
I've buried two guys that were like brothers to me, like so close that like I would consider them my own blood. That's a lot different than like
That hurts.
grandpa.
Yeah. Yes.
You
yeah.
know?
That you see, you know, on holidays and maybe once every now and then. You know?
Yeah. So it's like sometimes I wonder if like my subconscious is just like, hey, you're gonna die anyway, you fat bastard. Stop trying to live, you pussy.
I mean,
Let God take you when He takes you.
there probably is an element of like I don't give a fuck, which helps. You know, I'm
Yeah.
sure. You know, but I mean, do you still try to put it on every night?
Yeah.
Like,
Not every night. Sometimes I think about putting it on, or sometimes I'll tell myself, "All right, you get to go to sleep, And if you wake up from an apnea thing, you have to put it on. And then I'll wake up and then I'll think about it. And I'll be, all right, you woke up, put it on, and then I'll be asleep before it gets on.
Yeah.
Like last night was a weird one where I woke up and I was like, fuck, put the thing on. Put it on. You need sleep.
Yeah.
Like you can't, you're trying to get up in the morning, like put it on.
Yeah.
And I went and grabbed it, and the face mask itself was detached from the headset, the headgear. So like with one eye open, I'm like reaching around trying to find it, and then I passed out again, and then I woke up again like an hour later, and like I was like, all right, where the fuck is it? So I went and found it, and like it took me like a good 5 minutes trying to just line it back up into the headgear.
Yeah.
And then by the time I did finally line it up, I was asleep again.
Oh,
and then,
no.
And then finally the third time I woke up, I fucking got it on.
That's good. All
yeah,
right.
I got it on. And then guess what? Woke up a couple hours later, it wasn't there. So I'm like, what the fuck, man?
But at
like,
least you got those couple extra hours, I guess.
But it's like my brain knows.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, hey, we need this.
Yeah.
Like, put this on.
Yeah.
But then for some reason, once I'm out, it's just like, take that off.
Just gonna keep fighting it, bro.
Yeah, I know.
And then maybe find some way to secure it
at least
harder.
Fucking weight. That's what it really is. Because it's a lot of it is my weight.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know it's not all because, there's people who weigh like 160 pounds that have sleep apnea worse than I do.
Sure. Yeah.
So like sometimes it is genetic, but for me, it's mostly my weight.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like a big fucking like same thing with like asthma.
Yeah.
Which I don't have anymore, which is pretty sick.
Yeah,
I
good.
didn't know you could just like, grow out of asthma.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But apparently you can. And I fucking did, like a fucking savage.
Yeah, because I had asthma in middle school too, and I think I grew out of that at one point as well.
It is interesting also, since I quit weed.
Yeah.
I think that my body is letting me go through the process again where like it prepares to go limp before it does. Because we've talked about this on the show. So when you fall asleep, there's like a portion of time where your body prepares to go limp. Right. And then it's just done. And I think the more sleep deprived, and this is all theory that the doctor told me.
Sure.
And he was the one saying this is theory.
Right.
Because they still don't know.
Right.
Doctors still can't really even explain to you why we sleep.
Yeah. That's always been a foreign thing.
Yeah. So he was saying, he's like, I think the idea is that you get so sleep deprived, and the more you become sleep deprived, your body skips that stage more, right? And then
going limp,
of preparing to go limp.
Oh,
so you just go limp, and then depending on where you're at when that happens, you obstruct your airway, and then you have horrible sleep apnea again. And I think when I quit weed, for a good couple of weeks there, it was like I had that ability. Like I slept really good without the mask for like a while.
Right.
And then finally like it's caught up again. But like I do think like weed was definitely one of those, like it was just kind of helping me skip that stage.
Right.
Because you're coming down.
Right.
So it's just like, it's like, fuck it, go limp now. And then you choke to death, and then you wake up again like fucking almost just like take a piss real quick because your brain was trying to wake your body up.
Yeah, it was like, we're going to die.
Like, you're going to die, stupid.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but...
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and now I've also noticed that most of the bad habits I had when I smoked weed have slowly just crept up again. Like everything that I thought that weed was causing pretty much is back.
Yeah.
I'm still not... It's not like... at first I was like, wow, I have all this time on my hand. Now I realize I'm not doing anything with that time still. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
hey, in the beginning I was like, oh, now I'm not eating at night as much. Now I'm finding myself eating at night again. And like, in fact, if anything, I'm starting to find my dopamine through eating again, even more so than without the weed. And the other thing is I don't listen to podcasts anymore. I think like almost at all, like just never. Like I listen to ours, but other than that, like I was on a schedule, like Two Bears on Mondays, Real Ass Podcast on Tuesdays, Matt and Shane's on Wednesdays, Legion of Skanks on Thursdays, and then Fridays, like one of the other 10 I listen to, I'd just go pick one of theirs, like Flagrant or something. Now it's like nothing. It's like, and it's transformed into a lot of music.
Right.
I think my brain was just like, we need dopamine, and you get more from music than you do podcasts.
Yeah.
So like now I'm just like, I find myself like putting on YouTube and just listening to just almost the same songs just every day. Just I pick one and then I just let it do its thing.
Yeah.
It knows me enough.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, what do you want? 12
That's
MGK
convenient.
songs?
That's convenient.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's what you did yesterday. I know.
We're gonna do it again. I mean, I think you just gotta redirect that dopamine, because I do agree with you that you're hitting on like this idea that marijuana smoking is like a comfort thing, right? It was providing you dopamine in some form, right?
Yeah.
But it also was like a habit you built because it signified comfort,
Yes.
like that was your wind down, relax,
Yeah.
state, right? So now that you don't have that anymore, your brain is searching to fill that, right? So I think you just gotta direct that dopamine hunger somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if you don't, that's when you get into scenarios where like previous habits just become the default because that's what you already know to do, right?
Yeah.
So you just gotta find somewhere to like toss that arrow because otherwise you're just gonna toss that stuff that you already know that you can hit.
And
what I mean?
it just goes to show that like weed wasn't really the problem.
Right.
It was bad habits just in general and bad thinking patterns as much. Like, it's like, and I used to say that when I was smoking weed, like what Joe Rogan would say, like, if weed didn't make you a lazy piece of shit, you were a lazy piece of shit before the weed. Now you're just smoking it and you're a lazy piece of shit. Like, it's not, it just amplifies who you are.
It just exacerbates it. Yeah.
Just so, if you're super productive, you'll probably stay super productive. If you're super lazy, you'll probably just stay super lazy.
Yeah.
It's not that it necessarily makes you one or the other. I think that there was like definitely a couple weeks of like clarity where I did feel different, and then it just slowly just became normal life.
Yeah.
Just without weed again.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think it's another lesson there too is that like weed is fine in moderation. You know, like smoking yourself into a haze every day to where you're just kind of like numb. Probably not a good idea.
Yeah.
Right. But like smoking every now and then when you are like for me when I know I've gotten shit done for the day, right, and I can like afford to kind of put a haze on, right, that is way more rewarding than smoking yourself to oblivion, knowing you still have stuff to get done, and then now you've created a looping of like anxiety or whatever.
Yeah, well, and that's the reason I decided to take this little journey here without it, is because it's not that weed itself was bad. It was that I was showing such addictive traits towards it.
Yes, yeah.
I'd wake up and I would smoke a bowl or 5 with my coffee.
Yeah, I feel that shit.
You know what I'm saying? I'd go to work blitzed, and then by like 2 hours in, you're back to normal. But now you're coming down, so you're kind of tired. So you got to caffeine it up, and then you get home, and then you fucking just smoke. You smoke until it's bedtime.
Yep.
You smoke before the shower. You smoke before the meal. You smoke before you put your next load of laundry in. You smoke in cutscenes.
Anything. Yeah.
Cutscenes in video games. You smoke. You fucking. You stub your toe, you smoke. You're gonna go take a shit, you smoke.
You're gonna go on Discord with your friends and play some games, you smoke.
Yeah, it just became one of those like, it just became like everything you do, I want to do it stoned, and like I even realized like the strain it put on relationships that I had, like because I think subconsciously I didn't want to be too far from the bong.
Yeah,
it was never an active thought, right? It was never like, no, I don't want to go out and do this because I can't get high. That was never the idea. I think in the back of my head, that's what it was. I think there was a lot of like, but I'm going to sober up and I don't want to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I'd rather be able to just hit this again. Can we do this here? Whatever we're doing. And like, I remember like, dating a girl that was a stoner. And like, we'd go out to dinner and like, maybe I was already stoned and then she wanted to smoke real quick. And being like almost annoyed, like, really? Like, we can't go do this without you being high, even though I'm also high?
Right.
And it's like, it got to this point where it's just like, oh man, this is not good for me because of the way I'm using it.
Yeah.
And it could have been anything.
Sure.
Like I went right back to fucking nicotine.
A lot of stuff, yeah.
Nicotine and caffeine immediately.
Yep.
Immediately. I get one of these fucking Starbucks drinks like almost every day.
Caffeine is hard to fucking ditch, bro. Caffeine is arguably one of the most difficult addictions to kick,
Yeah, well, because it's
everywhere.
You're playing with your brain chemistry so much with caffeine.
Yeah.
You're going from like, your natural battery to playing with your battery.
Like I've been trying to stay off of caffeine in general for a while, and
but
I have a soda right behind me that for sure has caffeine in it.
Yeah. Oh, and it's interesting too, like how you gave up the caffeine and I gave up the weed.
Right.
And here I am with the caffeine, and here you are with the weed.
Well, what do you fucking know, right? We just had to trade, you know.
Well, you know,
in one way, we're cutting one vice between the two of us.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. I'd say probably about like 120 episodes ago, we talked about how everybody has at least
something,
at least like 2 or 3 vices, right? Whether that be sugar, caffeine, weed, nicotine, alcohol, sex.
Yeah,
you know, everybody's got at
porn,
least
whatever.
Yeah, everybody's got like at least like 2 or 3 things that they're on, and as long as you don't exceed 2 or 3, that I think it's normal and you should be fine. And it's funny, I gave up weed and immediately just replaced it with caffeine.
Yeah.
It's just like, all right, well now I need this all the time.
Well, yeah, because those are things that are in the queue. You know, like you were already not necessarily addicted to caffeine, but caffeine was already like a dopamine source that your brain knew of. Yeah. Right? So it makes sense that like when you get rid of one, the next thing in the queue, bing, you know, it pops right in. Right?
Oh, yeah. And like, you know, because I was never really, I didn't like coffee until I was like 25, you know, and I used to think caffeine didn't work on me because I was too fat. So it was never really like a big thing for me. And then, now it's all of a sudden it's like, no, I'm going to get that every day.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have that in me.
Dude, the entire time I worked at Starbucks, I did not drink coffee.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
You know, that, and for a coffee lover's fucking, that's a dream, you know?
Yeah.
Like you get entire bags of coffee fucking once a month, you know, right?
Oh, yeah.
Or sometimes 2.
You know, or just fucking sneaking espresso shots when people aren't looking at shit.
Yeah, because Starbucks had this thing where they're like, oh yeah, you are allowed every shift 1 drink and a food item, right?
Oh, fuck me.
1 food item, right?
Fuck me.
And then you get 1 bag of coffee a month for your thanks for working for Starbucks. Nobody fucking followed that rule. I'm telling you right now.
You just
even managers
drink what you fucking wanted.
Even fucking managers would serve themselves up shit. They would obviously be a little bit more tame about it, right?
Yeah.
But like I can't tell you how many times like even the good employees that were like, yeah, follow the rules, would serve themselves up a drink or 2 when their friends come by.
Oh,
right?
dude. Same thing at fucking Domino's. Like,
kick rock Starbucks. Like, that fucking tightens up your panties, you know. Get over
it.
it.
They didn't even give you that at Domino's, but what they did do is like, you didn't get any free food or nothing like that, but you did.
Yeah.
You know, you just didn't ring shit up and nobody said anything about it.
Who fucking cares?
You know, like
corporations are making bank.
Yeah, like the rule was you got 50% off. Everything but 2 liters, which was, I don't know, but
that's weird. Specific.
I think it's because Domino's can't make Coke, so they have to buy Coke.
That makes sense.
You know, so it's like if you give them 50% off because Coke was the company for Domino's. Coke, Diet Coke, Cherry Coke, Orange Sprite, and Root Beer. Those are the 2 liters. That'll never leave my head. I've said it to so many fucking people.
In your core, bro.
Oh, yeah. I just said it to so many fucking people. I just know it forever.
Yep.
But because Domino's always had to buy it from a Coca-Cola distributor, you know, they really weren't making that much on 2 liters. Like, it almost got to the point where it didn't make sense
to have them.
You know, it's like they would sell them for like $3.25 for a 2 liter, and then if you went into the sheet, they were buying them at like $2.25. So they really weren't making much, and like, so I could see why they didn't do employee discount. But and then the other thing was if food came back or was canceled, not came back, you don't want to touch that because who knows what happened to that.
Yeah.
But if food got messed up or canceled,
right,
and it was just on the hot rack,
you just take that.
That's for anybody. It's
just gonna go in the garbage.
Yeah, and then you know if your manager's cool, every now and then he'd make like a quote unquote crew pie.
Yeah.
You know, just make some random pizza and say everybody can eat it.
Yeah.
But the reality was that, you know, everybody's, you know, when you're new, you make yourself a pizza because you're overwhelmed.
Right.
And you pay the 50%. And like, you know, that's like $6. It's not that crazy. But then as you kind of get into it more, you realize nobody's looking.
Yep.
You know, like I used to do things like.
Also, nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
9 out of 10 times. You know?
No, and like they only care when FLC cost is too high, the food and labor cost.
Right.
That's when they start looking and cracking down and being like, "Hey, I'm losing money.
Yeah.
So stop stealing." But in the reality, that would go back to normal in like a month, and everybody go back to stealing. Like what I would do is I'd make my food as a delivery driver, and because the camera has no audio. You know, and it's only so good. It's not like they had crazy cameras or nothing. They're just shitty cameras up in the fucking ceiling, and some of them don't even work. I would just make myself some food, put it in with the order I'm about to deliver.
Right.
Keep it, box it, and put it with the order
that
I'm about to deliver on the hot rack and bag it all up. And then when I got to my car, I would just pull it out of the hot bag and put it on my fucking passenger seat.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Because the camera knew.
Genius.
Camera doesn't know how many items were in that order.
Yeah.
You can't see that there's no sticker on the front of that box.
Yep.
They just saw me fucking box up some shit, put it in a bag, and leave.
Well, at a first glance too, because they're not going to. I imagine they're not just reviewing the footage, staring intently at every move that you're making.
The reality is they're only looking at the footage if an incident happened.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody's monitoring it.
So if somebody is having to look at that footage, they probably would just skim by you because you just look like you're doing your job. You know?
Oh yeah, and
genius.
Being the manager, I knew what the cameras could and couldn't see.
Yeah. There you go.
You know, so I already knew. But then there was also times, as the manager, bro, like all the time, honestly, like I'd make myself like a box of boneless chicken. I'd just go put it on the hot rack and eat from it every now and then. And it would just be an item on the rack with no sticker on it, and everybody knew it was mine.
Yeah.
And they left it the fuck alone, and the manager would see it, and he wouldn't say anything.
Yep.
Or occasionally he'd be like, "Did you pay for that?" And I'd be like, "Not yet." And he'd be like, "Okay."
Yeah.
And then never follow up with me.
You'd never go
like,
fuck.
Just like, all right, well, you know, this job sucks a lot of dick, so this is the perk.
Yep.
You know, this is what you get for dealing with this shit.
Yeah. Also, just knowing that these places are making fucking money, you know?
Oh.
Like, that's the thing that people, like, really kind of get not straight sometimes. It's like, well, you shouldn't, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, do you have any clue what the people upstairs are making off of this fucking shit?
I can tell you right now.
Any idea, you know?
I can tell you right now for Domino's, which, you know, I haven't been working there for so long, and I'm never going back. Who cares at this point?
Yeah.
Gary, I hope you're listening. I know you listen sometimes. I hope you hear all this. Like, what was it? The motto was, if somebody complained, was you apologize, you give them what they want, you give them something extra. Meaning, you call me and you say that your pepperoni pizza didn't have pepperoni on it.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry about that. We're going to take care of you right now. I'm going to send you a pepperoni pizza right now on us. How about some breadsticks as well?
Wow.
My treat.
Damn.
Because the reality was
business
to make cinnamon sticks, right? People fucking love cinnamon sticks.
Yeah.
It was 30 cents worth of dough.
Yeah.
And about maybe 2 cents worth of cinnamon. Like, because the cinnamon, you know, you're getting this giant fucking thing of it for like $3.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That lasts months.
Yeah, with those what do those cost? Like $6.75, fucking $8?
Yeah.
What?
Oh yeah.
Somewhere around there.
Oh yeah. So like, the reality was, it cost you maybe, and even with the little icing cup in the box, it cost the company maybe 40 cents to make a thing of cinnamon sticks. It's like a pizza, realistically, like a large pepperoni pizza, costs a Domino's or a Round Table roughly like 82 cents.
Yeah,
to make one.
Checks out. Yeah.
So it's like, and then you sell that thing for like $24.
Yeah.
You give them a coupon for like 12.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh my god, like these coupons, this is crazy.
Yeah, and
I can't believe I'm getting this for $12. And it's like, bro, it didn't even take a dollar to make it.
Yeah, dude, and it's not like your boots on the ground making the pizza are paid like six figures, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
no,
that's not what's
wage.
happening, you know?
Yeah. No, it's...
Yeah, bro.
They're making a lot of fucking. That's
so
why
much
it was
money, dude.
But that's why it's give them something extra, because in reality, it's two things. One, it costs that company nothing to give you something extra, and two, you think you just fucking won the lottery.
Yeah, so you're gonna
keep going as the consumer.
Yeah,
like, wow, they took care of me, bro.
Yeah.
They fucking took care of me. That guy gave me cheesy bread.
Yeah.
Just because my pizza was messed up.
Yeah.
And he gave me the pizza. And he didn't ask for the one that was fucked up. It's like, oh, yeah, we're balling out, bro. That was $3 out of our pocket.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Honestly, like, that customer satisfaction is everything, you know, because it keeps them, right?
Yeah.
And that's just that. Because that model, at one point when you have, like, big profit, it just becomes about how can we keep them coming. Because then that flow is always there.
Well, yeah,
you know, and you just make more and more money.
And I remember learning in the interview, and I actually guessed right, thank God. But during the interview, my boss asked me, he said, when you have a bunch of competition selling the same product for pretty much the same price, what's the only thing that makes you stand out? And I said, customer service.
Yeah.
And he was like, exactly.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all it is, bro. You could get the same fucking pizza from Round Table, from Pizza Hut, from Little Caesars, from Papa John's, from Pizza Guys. Like, it's all going to be around this price. It's all going to be pretty much the same dough, the same mozzarella cheese, the same pepperonis, the same count of pepperonis, the same ounces of sausage. Like,
all fucking weighed out.
Why would you go to one and not the other? Because this one's treat me well.
Yep.
You know, these ones were nice when they fucked
Oh yeah. You'd be amazed how much money people will pay for being treated well. you know?
Oh, yeah.
And also convenience, you
Oh,
know?
yeah. Well,
Like,
you know,
lots of money in that industry.
That goes everywhere, you know? If a mechanic takes care of you once,
yeah.
you'll go to that mechanic for life.
Hospitality, bro. Yep.
You know what
yep.
I'm saying? Like with what I do, like there's companies, if an air conditioner gets so old or a furnace, there's companies that won't even touch it. They'll just be like, no, like this thing's got to go. You need a new one. Here's a quote. Where I'm like, no. How about this? I'll fix it. I'm going to be honest with you and tell you it's not going to last forever. It is on its way out, but I'm going to get this thing going for now. But once you need to know is once it's down again, it's probably done. Now they trust me.
Yeah, I know they're going to
know?
be able to, because you're also given the opportunity to anticipate that, right?
Yes.
Which I think for a lot of people is almost priceless. You
Oh,
know?
yeah, dude.
If you can prevent somebody from getting blindsided, you know, they'll
yeah.
be like, "Oh my God, thank you."
Oh,
You
yeah.
know?
The difference
Like,
between
bro.
here's your $20,000 bill today or, hey,
Yeah.
in 6 months, you're going to be seeing a $20,000 bill.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck me. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
Thank you
yeah.
for that time.
Dude. Yeah, for
Yes,
real. That's
Jesus.
hella valuable.
Yeah, so
for
I mean,
sure.
I always do my best to at least take a shot. You know, unless it's not worth it. You know, there is a point where I won't fuck with people's stuff.
Sure.
Where, you know, and I'll have to have that conversation with them and tell them it's like, look, if you have something that's old as fuck and it's past its prime, whether that be a car or a washing machine or, you know, any appliance really, you get to a certain point where the cost of repair is not worth it.
Yep.
You know, like the analogy I use all the time is like, if you're 80 and you get a brand new knee replacement, you have a brand new knee. That is a fucking fresh knee. That is brand new. The rest of you's fucking 80.
Yeah.
All right? The rest of you's still old and breaking down. So just because you got a new knee doesn't mean you're 20 again.
Right.
All right? Like,
Yeah.
And you're going to have to understand at one point these parts are going to get so crazy.
You're gonna have to
and
either
with everything
swap
else
them all.
still failing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you're going to swap them all, oh, fuck me, dude. Now you're looking at thousands and thousands of
Yeah.
dollars, where almost now at the same price, you just get the new one.
Yeah.
You know,
New
'cause-
car, new appliance, new washing machine, whatever.
Yeah,
the fuck it
yeah.
is.
It's- At one point, it's
Yeah.
just like, just get the new one.
Yeah.
Don't hassle yourself with all this shit. Don't make me come do fucking 15 hours of labor trying to rebuild this goddamn thing with no guarantees because it's old as
Yeah.
dick.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. It's like, hey, I've had to tell people, it's like, look, if you want to take a $3,000 gamble, I'll take it with you. But I can't guarantee you a thing
Yeah.
because this thing is old.
Yeah, dude. And what's that phrase? Time wasted is money wasted.
Oh,
right?
yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
like in that
So you're
scenario.
gonna spend that money when you replace this fucking thing anyway. Do you really want to spend $4
Yeah.
grand first?
Yeah.
Just spend
fucking
the,
exactly.
Spend the 8 and get a new one instead of spending the 12 trying to fix it and then buying the new one.
Yeah, and dude, I mean, I may not be a handy person. I'll be the first to admit that, you know, but like I feel like it's common sense for things like that to fall apart. You know, like my granny van right now, we were talking about before off the show, is slowly falling apart.
Yeah.
And it's old. It's been through the ringer, you know. It's like I'm expecting right now it's having likely what seems to be engine problems, you know.
Yeah.
If it ends up being an easier fix, couple $100, great, you know. But
Yeah.
if we're talking $1,000 plus, you know, like that car's not really worth $1,000+.
No,
you know?
because even if you do, everything else in that car's so old.
right, you know,
You know,
like
you might
and then I'm
fix
gonna have
this,
other
something else
problems
breaks,
soon.
yeah.
Exactly, right.
Yeah,
so
and-
it's common sense. I feel like
It's
you
also
know?
two things. Things are built. It's a harsh reality. Things are built to design and designed to fail.
yeah,
They have a failing point
Mm-hmm.
because if I built you a car that lasts you forever, you'd never buy another car.
right, yeah.
So why would I do that? Mm-hmm. You know, and then the other thing is that there's always a certain amount of time that passes where parts stop being produced
right.
for anything.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Where are you going to go find that fucking heating element for a 1979 fucking stove?
Yeah.
Right? No,
Yeah.
they stopped making that 20 years ago.
Yep.
If I can find one, it's just sitting on some warehouse on a shelf covered in dust. That because luckily somebody didn't throw it out yet.
Yeah, or maybe they don't even know it's fucking there.
Oh yeah,
you know,
and,
like,
and these warehouses they can't just keep that shit because they got new parts coming in all the time. You know, eventually they're gonna have to do a sweep, and it's like
Yeah.
everything from the '80s and before needs to go.
gone.
Because
Yeah.
we need 4 generations of other shit.
Dude, shit that fucking shit happens at like IT big corporate companies still, you know?
Yeah.
Like even just like there's gear that we've had to toss out that was totally fine, but because it was completely depreciated and old and they didn't want to roll the dice on like replacing something with something that's old, you know?
Yeah.
Because like why would you, if a piece of gear fails, why would you replace it with an old piece of gear? when you just have the funds to get a brand new piece of gear.
Oh, yeah, especially with the way technology works, too.
Yeah, and that's how Big Corp thinks, too. It's just like you're rolling the dice of it failing sooner than later when you have the funds just to get a brand new one,
Yeah.
So you get a lot of used gear that's like decommissioned but works, right? That eventually gets e-wasted because there's never a use for them,
Yeah.
And it's like thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars.
Oh, yeah.
Like
that's why you got to get like some fucking dumpster diver that's a tech nerd that's in there repurposing and refabricating, refurbishing.
Honestly, wherever the big companies because like e-waste, at least at like the IT companies, that I've been around with, like for the most part, they have a vendor come out and grab the cans, and it goes into a truck, right? So wherever they go with all that shit, right?
Yeah, well, they're harvesting copper and all sorts of things, too.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, if you follow those people, I'm sure you can find lots of gear, dude.
My dad built our family computer off of thrown away computers at Heald College because my dad was
we were talking about that.
My dad was one of the 3 IT guys, and they were just throwing shit away, and he'd be like, "Okay, there's a graphics card, there's
that.
RAM.
Yeah, dude,
that's a monitor. I'll take that fucking monitor. Why not? Like,
right here.
And he literally just Frankensteined us a computer, just all out of
dude,
junk parts. Like,
if you have the knowledge, fucking use it.
Oh yeah,
like dude. It's some people's garbage really don't realize that it's still a treasure.
Yeah, dude.
Like
I met this guy the other day. He had like a $4,000 thermostat that broke. There was a big recall on him. It's the one that you have actually. There's a huge recall, and it finally broke.
Maybe that's what my issue is now.
No,
who knows?
I'll look at it for you.
Yeah,
but it broke, and they recalled it, so they don't make them anymore. His only option was to go get another like $4,000 or $5,000 thermostat because his system was so complex. It was going to need one of these. Like, it's one that works off of AC and DC voltage, which most thermostats just run off of fucking AC voltage. They're not. It's just 24 volts. It's nothing crazy.
Right.
It's just bimetals clicking and switches closing. This was like a whole computer. And instead of doing that, he was wise enough to just find some dude who likes taking them apart.
Yeah.
And fixing them. And he just sent it to the guy, and the guy fixed it and put it back for like $200.
It's fucking sick.
You know what I'm saying? There's always, it's like if you're smart enough, you can make some pretty crazy money and shit doing that kind of stuff. Like, or you could save, a shit ton of money. Like my dad building the computer.
Right.
Back then, I mean, we're talking like maybe 2004. A home computer in 2004 was probably pretty expensive, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Because not everybody had one yet.
Right, exactly. And then also, like, a lot of the monitors use tubes, too, which tubes are completely different from how we use our current day monitors.
In fact, if you remember,
LEDs and shit.
If you had a computer at your house and it was like 1999, it was one of those like 4 foot tall, like crazy, like ridiculous looking things.
Huge tower shit.
It wasn't like the tower that you see today. It was just like, it was a massive thing. And it probably cost like $3,000, which back then, compared to today would be like $8,000.
Yeah. I think that's where the modern day term tower came from. Because they were legitimately towers.
Yeah. I heard from my computer tech teacher one time that the phrase reboot actually came from somebody kicking a computer in Texas.
I didn't know that. That's hilarious.
He said back in the day when computers were first around and towers were so big that you had to have special rooms to put them in because they were like 6 feet tall, that one day some Texan had a problem with it and he just got so pissed off that he fucking kicked the shit out of it with his boot.
Yeah.
And it hard reset it. And it fucking came back and it was fine.
That's where the classic reboot. Did you turn it on and turn it off again?
Yeah. He fucking literally booted it up,
that's
bro.
Funny, bro.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. That's in the same line of have you heard of percussive maintenance?
No.
That's a real fucking term.
You're just smacking something?
Where you just smack the shit out of something until it starts working again.
Oh, it works.
Yeah. Ben, our buddy Ben, bless your soul, buddy, if you're listening, he swears by it. That's a real, as far as he's concerned, he is a certified IT percussive maintenance.
Oh, yeah. I've seen him do it with cars.
Yeah.
I've seen him do it with cars. He was trying to get this fuel pump started.
Yeah.
And he took off something like where he was basically spraying fuel directly into like the carburetor, like with just a can of like fucking carburetor cleaner, just basically just flammable liquid, spraying it directly into it. And he's telling his fiance to like kind of crank the car as he's doing it, and he goes, "Oh, let me try something real quick." And he goes over and he finds just a piece of metal on the ground, and he starts banging on this thing with a piece of metal, and it creates like conduction to the point where it actually got the fucking relays to work again, and it cranked on. He's like, "Yeah, sometimes you just gotta hit it with metal." It's like, what the fuck?
Ben's like a caveman that like somehow became a stroke of genius or has a stroke of genius every now and then.
Like Robert Downey Jr. when he was in the cave in that first movie.
Yeah, dude.
It's just like, I don't know, fucking just hit this with something and it might actually work. Oh man, shout out to Ben. Shout out to whoever our golf sponsor's called. I don't fucking know anymore. We'll let you guys know. But they're coming back. Back Nine Problems is not dead. They just got sued to oblivion.
Yep. And some dickhead tried to throw his fucking dick around.
Yeah, somebody could afford a lawyer.
Yeah. Pussy. I wonder if they even make a good amount of money.
No, probably not.
Probably. I bet you all their money went to their lawyer.
Yeah. Like just to be petty.
Well, I hope you enjoy taking down small companies, bro. You're a dick.
Yeah, you puss.
So
come take us down.
Yeah, try it.
See what
There's nothing to take, bro.
See what you can get from me.
See you, motherfuckers.
Send the cease and desist.